the last of our most basic open position major and minor chords is actually not an open position chord at all. It actually doesn't have any open strings. And as we move forward, we're going to be taking a look at more chords that don't have any open strings. And if a chord doesn't have any open strings, you can actually move it around up and down the neck. And those are what are called movable chord forms. But this F chord that we're going to be taking a look at doesn't have any open strings, but it is commonly played with all of the other basic open position chords, and so we just kind of clump it into that category of chords. Now, I won't lie to you, a lot of people really hate F, and F is just a misunderstood chord, and if you kind of follow some of the basic ideas I'm giving you for this chord, I don't think you'll have as hard a time as a lot of people have with this chord. So, first of all, you're going to be taking your first finger and barring it across your first and second strings at the first fret. And kind of the trick of this is that you want to use the side of your finger, the outside of your finger. And if I'm looking at my hand, this is the outside of my first finger. So I kind of tilt my hand a little bit to the side and bar with the outside of my first finger. Then I put my second finger on the third string, second fret, and finally my third finger goes on the fourth string at the third fret. And this is only going to be 4 strings. Now this does take some pressure. You have to press down kind of hard, and especially on your first finger. So. Now, this is the basic hand position that I'm going to suggest that you start off with an F. Now, there is kind of an alternate hand position to try as well. And for this one, you get to do something that I told you not to do. What you're going to actually do is take your palm and put it on the back of the neck. And this time, I'm going to be playing the first and second strings more with the flat part of my first finger rather than using the side of my first finger. And so here is the basic position that I'm going to be in. So I'm pressing down. Now, this is just a position that I found that some people have an easier time with. And even I'll use this position from time to time. One thing this allows me to do is I actually can touch my third finger very slightly to that fifth string and help mute that out because I don't want to hear my open fifth string in this chord. But those are the 2 basic positions for an F chord. One is more of kind of a classical position where my thumb is down in the middle of the back of the neck and I'm using the side of my first finger, the outside. And the other way is where I'm using more the flat part of my first finger to press down. And I'm actually putting my palm on the back. It just puts my whole hand at a little bit different angle, and some people have an easier time with this one. Now, if you're having trouble with either of those kind of hand positions for this F chord, another alternative would be just putting your first finger on the second string, your second finger on the third string, and your third finger on the fourth string. So the same notes as the other 2, but this time I'm leaving off the first string. And what I'm going to do is just take my first finger and instead of barring across, I'm just going to lightly touch the first string. So I'm actually only going to hear 3 strings. I'm only going to hear the fourth, third, and second strings. Now, you're going to find this one the easiest at first, but don't use this one over practicing those other 2 chord forms. There are going to be times when you're going to want to hear that first string. But if you're in a pinch and you need an F chord, this is an easier version of an F chord that you could start off with. Later on, we're going to be taking a look at what are referred to as bar chords, some other types of movable chords where you're going to get a more full, big sounding F chord, but when you're playing mostly open position chords, this F is a good one to start with.